favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
This is another Marvelous video. I'm Grayson Ottaway. Batman Beyond has been one of the more interesting iterations of Batman that has, quite understandably, generated a massive fan following. So, with the prospect of a live-action DCEU movie of Batman Beyond obviously having the fans shaking, even more so when there was news of Michael Keaton playing Old Man Bruce in the new movie. It would have been such a fantastic nostalgic hit and would have fit the role perfectly. However, for reasons that we'll discuss in this video, the Batman Beyond live-action rendition may just remain a dream forever. Before we get into Batman Beyond, a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to this channel. We click for you, but for us, means a great deal. Batman Beyond the movie, what is it all about? Batman Beyond is set in the far-off future of Gotham City, where the Caped Crusader has fought well into his 50s. His companions sadly perish or abandon him as his health starts to fail him. Bruce Wayne is compelled to hang up the cowl after other members of the Batman family stopped dressing up as superheroes. Gangs take control of Gotham City, a futuristic metropolis without Batman. A 16-year-old student in high school who assumes the role and is named the new Batman enters the picture as the city needs a hero. Bruce Wayne serves as the new hero's mentor and advisor as Terry McGinnis assumes the role of Batman. The modern approach to superhero movies would be the ideal match for this new Bat. The team behind the well-liked Batman animated series from the 1990s, Bruce Timm, Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, developed Batman Beyond. The character first appeared in comic books both before and after the 1999 animated series. With the addition of the cyberpunk genre to Gotham City in Batman Beyond, the franchise gains sci-fi elements and even more cutting-edge technology. Due in part to social criticism, cyberpunk is a very popular style today. The quality of other depictions of the city has ranged from imaginative to realistic, but the Gotham of 2039 is a location that might be terrific for a superhero film. Batman has quite an enduring appeal, but everyone's familiar with every aspect of his backstory. Fans have witnessed the horrible demise of Thomas and Martha in Crime Alley countless times and in countless different ways. Although Terry's tale has been told before, it offers a novel interpretation of the creation of Batman. Superhero films adore origin stories, but when employing a hero that fans are already very familiar with, it is necessary to skip on to that part. Terry is a strong and charismatic character who offers a fresh perspective on the traditional Batman mythos. Additionally, because of his youth, the movie can cast a young, attractive celebrity in the role of Batman, giving the character the same high school setting as that of Spider-Man. This gives fans of an elder Bruce Wayne as well as a younger Batman. Fans tend to enjoy the character when he's weak and worn out, and having him serve as a mentor lets him continue to be an important figure in the story even when he is not at his best. Michael Keaton may easily be rehired by a filmmaker with the means who wants to take the idea exceptionally far. It appears to be working for the Flash and Batgirl. One of the most well-liked paths for the franchise could be an elderly Batman paving the way for a new young hero. DC would have a surefire idea if they added a cyberpunk backdrop and an entirely new cast of enemies. Warner Brothers appears to be approving everything involving the Caped Crusader in the wake of the success of The Batman and the appearance of two more Batman depictions in the upcoming The Flash. Everything, that is, aside from Batman Beyond. Even while the iconic animated series is still a very popular DC comic book, there has been a lot of fan clamour for a live-action film version over quite a few years. The audiences are eagerly awaiting a sci-fi sci-fi epic. Since the beginning of the comic book era, Batman has become one of the most well-known superheroes. Numerous live-action and animated films featuring the Caped Crusader have been produced for both large and small screens. However, there have also been a few initiatives that were never completed. The series is intriguing not only because it takes place in the future and follows Terry McGinnis while being watched over by an even more troubled Bruce Wayne, but also because it skillfully combines classic characters with contemporary ones. One of those unfinished projects was a live-action big screen rendition of the popular cartoon series Batman Beyond. The film was set to be directed by Remember the Titans filmmaker Boaz Yakin. Boaz discussed the movie, how it would have been, and why it never happened in a recent interview with IGN. The live-action Batman Beyond movie's script was developed by the director Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, who also created the animated series. Boaz claimed that the script was somewhat similar to Sam Raimi's version of the web-slinger for the big screen, but a little darker, a young kind of future cyberpunk Batman thing. It's not Warner Brothers that compelled the project to end, rather Boaz resigned from it in the end. And there wasn't any sort of conflict as the director implies, instead he just concluded that he wasn't really interested in making the movie. He claimed that after just one drafting, he gave up because he didn't really have the heart for it at the moment. He claimed that he instantly got the impression that he could be in the zone because of the pandemonium of it all. He just said, "I just can't do this."
Excuse me. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Cast of Batman Beyond live-action movie. This would be the ideal cast for a Batman Beyond movie, according to us, which could be a fantastic coming-of-age superhero film. It's interesting to note that Seth Green, a well-known actor with numerous film appearances, provides the voice of Nelson Nash. However, Nelson, the Hamilton Hill High School mascot jock, who is constantly attempting to steal Terry's fiancée, has nothing on Green in terms of physical appeal. In addition to having a youthful appearance for his age, Australian actor Jacob Elordi is also a heartthrob, as seen by his roles in the HBO series Euphoria and the Netflix movie franchise The Kissing Booth. Nelson Nash would be the ideal platform for his ascent to that level because it's just a matter of time before he attracts more attention and is inexorably chosen for a leading role in a large blockbuster film. Melanie Walker, a teen who attends Hamilton Hill, is also a member of the Royal Flush Gang, a crime organization run by her family, and goes by the moniker 10. In the show, Melanie and Terry get along because of their convoluted, full of alter ego lives outside of the school. In both Blackish and Grownish, Yari Shahidi's character development explores the same themes of juggling her obligations to her job and to her studies, albeit in a much more comic way. Shahidi has excellent comedic timing and could inject some humor to the extremely dramatic Melanie, despite the fact that most of the characters in Batman Beyond are overly serious. There are frequent tensions in the relationships of the people that serve as the love interests of Caped Crusaders, and Dana Tan and Terry are no exception. Batman Beyond, however, tackles teen love considerably better than most other films or television programs. The popular Netflix series Sex Education stars Mimi Keene as Ruby Matthews, a high school student. Despite the stark cultural differences between British and American high schools, Keene does a fantastic job portraying a popular yet unhappy youngster. After all, teenage emotions and experiences are shared by all people, regardless of nationality. Since Daniel Day-Lewis is retired and has only ever acted in dramas, it would most likely be impossible to persuade him to take on a role in a superhero film, but Derek Powers might be the ideal character for him if he were to appear in any superhero film. Day-Lewis has always performed best when portraying villains of such caliber, such as Powers, the wicked and dishonest CEO of Wayne Powers, who assassinated Terry's father. Nobody can portray a psychopathic murderer more effectively than the renowned actor, whether it's Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York or Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. Even though Day-Lewis is retired, Martin Scorsese has successfully persuaded him to leave his home in Italy in order to play Bill the Butcher. The phrase "man in the chair" first used by Ned in Spider-Man Homecoming, refers to the sidekick who handles all of the superhero's technological tasks and frequently converses with the hero through an earpiece. Maxine Gibson performs precisely that function in Batman Beyond. She's extremely intelligent and also a competent combatant, despite being a part of numerous franchises. Despite the fact that Zendaya is currently very successful, her name is rarely mentioned when casting decisions are being made. Batman Beyond might be the ideal means of doing that, and the director of the imagined film would be a good match for her prominent part in Batman Beyond. As the actor and the filmmaker collaborated on Dune, there is already a wonderful working relationship, and they might bring out the best of each other in the futuristic sci-fi film. Many people believe that Denis Villeneuve could be Batman Beyond's director. Fans are more familiar with Barbara Gordon than the other more recent and obscure personalities. After becoming Batgirl, she continued in her dad's legacy and rose to the position of police commissioner for the GCPD. The character is shown in Batman Beyond during her final years as commissioner. Meryl Streep could lend a Batman Beyond adaptation the status and acclaim its merits along with Daniel Day-Lewis. Additionally, unlike Day-Lewis, Streep has already starred in franchise films and doesn't always take herself too seriously to rule out starring in a superhero movie. In addition, Batman Beyond would be the ideal, if rather unlikely, film to see Streep and Day-Lewis work together, since they actually never have before. There wouldn't be a Batman series without the Joker, even if it takes place in the future and is based on a timeline in which the character passed away decades earlier. Although there are many fantastic episodes of Batman Beyond, the Joker only makes an appearance in the fantastic animated feature film Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Batman Beyond's Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill, exactly like he was in Batman the Animated Series, is a representation of the character that many fans genuinely think is the best. Although the villain has been portrayed in many different ways in live-action movies, Willem Dafoe might give a fantastic performance that is based on Batman Beyond's interpretation. The clown prince of crime in Return of the Joker behaves just like Dafoe's malicious grin, lively motions, and his astonishing agility. One of the aspects of Batman Beyond that elevates it above Batman the Animated Series is old Bruce Wayne, the character's elder self who is hostile, enraged, and haunted by his demons, is very different from the younger one portrayed in the animated series. For the past 30 years, Clint Eastwood has practically portrayed that character, so portraying aging Bruce Wayne may be something of a farewell performance for the adored Western actor. In films like Gran Torino and $1 Million Baby, Eastwood masterfully captures the old man Logan-like Bruce Wayne of Batman Beyond with his scowling, unwelcoming demeanor. Although Terry isn't as tormented as Bruce Wayne, he still has some issues, and his father was killed by a ruthless killer. The youngster, though, is very much his own persona and differs greatly from Bruce in many respects. In addition to being an athlete, an outsider, and a rebel, Terry also has to maintain his high school image. Joe Carey, who is 29 years old, still has a high school appearance, albeit an athletic and responsible one. He also demonstrated in Stranger Things how he can portray a sophisticated, intelligent youngster who would be very successful if he weren't led down the wrong path. The previous failed attempt. The DCU's prolonged recovery from 2017's Justice League resulted from the decision to cancel the Batman Beyond movie. The Justice League movie that was released in 2017 was a notorious production that underwent lengthy reshoots after director Jack Snyder left the project. Eventually, calls for Jack Snyder's original edit of the film resulted in its release in 2021 to a more positive response. In spite of this, the Justice League reshoots keep casting a shadow over the whole DC universe, from allegations of Joss Whedon's abusive behavior to how much the reshoots ultimately cost DCU. After Justice League, the DCEU ultimately needed 5 years to recover, and one of the aftershocks of its detrimental effects was the unexpected cancellation of Batgirl. In addition, rumors about the cancellation of a Michael Keaton starring Batman Beyond movie has surfaced since the establishment establishment of DC Studios. Like Batgirl, Batman Beyond's cancellation is largely explained by the factors that led to its approval. The absence of an in-universe Batman as a result of Ben Affleck leaving the role was one of the many negative consequences Justice League's failure had on the DC universe. Warner Brothers' Dark Knight franchise was maintained by Matt Reeves, the Batman, but the movie's absence from the DC universe put WB in a difficult position. The DC multiverse eventually became a major plot for WB, allowing for coexistence of various iterations of the same characters and opening the door for Michael Keaton's comeback in The Flash's multiverse adventure. Unfortunately, it appears that WB thought of the multiverse as a solution to repair the harm caused by Justice League, as Keaton's second appearance in Batgirl takes place in what co-director Adil El-Arbi calls a spaghetti of multiverses. Affleck's reappearance as his interpretation of Batman in The Flash and Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom further complicated matters. In the end, it appears the WB Discovery and DC Studios decided to cancel both Batman Beyond and Batgirl because they had become entangled in a complex web of the multiverse. Batgirl and Batman Beyond were each given duties for the DCU that were totally unjustified for them. Warner Brothers' attempts to correct previous errors with the universe would not have had an adverse effect on Batgirl if she had just been the next chapter in the DC universe. Batman Beyond encountered the same issue for no reason of its own. Additionally, it is clear from the inclusion of Terry McGinnis that Warner Brothers believes he and Keaton's elder Bruce Wayne would make up for the absence of an active DCU Batman. Instead, it just delayed solving that issue until the cast and crew of the film could do it, which made Batman Beyond less able to tell its own tale. Keaton's participation on both Batman Beyond and Batgirl suggests that the future features of the latter were being dropped in favor of a modern setting, which robbed Batman Beyond of half of its central idea. By properly referencing the multiverse and placing Batman Beyond in Keaton's Batman realm, WB could have avoided all of those issues. The promise of Michael Keaton's Batman teaching Terry McGinnis is clear, and a role Keaton is perfectly suited to embody, even in the absence of Batman Beyond, as it was initially planned. Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton is just a fantastic idea now that DC Studios is up and running. A rather simple way to get Batman Beyond off the ground would be just to remove the responsibilities that it was carrying and rework it to be more faithful to the show's original idea. Tim Burton's German expressionist redesign of Gotham City gives a lot of opportunity for a completely fresh take of Batman Beyond in Keaton's reality. The error made by WB's former management was believing that a fresh idea like Batman Beyond could be simply inserted into an existing established cinematic universe. Sadly, that line of thinking, combined with WB's resistance to Zack Snyder's Justice League, including whatever Justice League iteration is canon to the DCU, demonstrates how ineffective their post-Justice League cleanup procedure was. Because of that, it would be a shame if Batman Beyond remained on hold. The creation of a DC Bible by DC Studios' new administration may, in theory, pave the way for Batman Beyond to be produced with its original plot as its top focus. The Marvelous Video conclusion. Even though we won't be getting the Batman Beyond live-action movie that we were sort of promised, it is still good to know that the executives in charge of the DCEU are trying to build something great with the source materials that they have access to. They've clearly recognized mistakes they've made before, Joss Whedon, and they are expanding the universe and exploring the multiverse as well with the next Flash movie. So all hope is definitely not lost, and we do have a lot to look forward to. Sure, Marvel may have the lead in the cinematic universe for now, but with a legendary character like Batman, DC may not be that far behind. Oh boy, would we love you to comment below. If you like our content, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Do have a good one, and please be safe.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.